Gauri, your zoology faculty from Infinity Learn. So today we bring forth the 12th class lecture again from human reproduction. We are already done with the male reproductive system, the female reproductive system, right? And now we go ahead with the spermatogenesis topic, right? So that's our topic for today, and let me present that fact for you. About 300 million sperm mature each day. Whopping number, right? Miraculous human body. So 300 million sperms mature each day. That is how much of the sperm that's being produced. Of course, that with the seminal plasma together make up the semen. So we did talk about gametogenesis in our previous class when I was just introducing the human reproduction chapter to you. So what is gametogenesis? As I always say, go by the words gametogenesis, which is genesis is the production of the gametes. A simple definition, very easy to remember and understand. Gametogenesis is the production of the gametes, of which, what are we talking about today? The spermatogenesis, which is the production of the sperm. Production of the sperm is what we are going to talk about today. So in the gametogenesis, there is both oogenesis and spermatogenesis. Oogenesis is something that's taking place in the females with the production of ovum, and here we are talking about the spermatogenesis, which is the production of the sperm in males, right? So that clears our very first definition part. What is gametogenesis, or what is the spermatogenesis? So the production of the sperm is what is referred to as the spermatogenesis. A clear NCERT picture redrawn for you, where it will give you a gist of the entire process that is happening, right? So first let's get to the where it all starts, right? We're going to talk about the hormonal regulation first. Like the oogenesis in females, is the spermatogenesis starting by the birth or even before birth itself? No. The spermatogenesis process is something that is taking place in males at puberty. Right? Puberty is when the spermatogenesis process is beginning in males. Unlike the oogenesis process, which starts even before birth in females, right? Unlike in females, where it is starting even before the female babies are born, the male spermatogenesis process is taking place at the puberty, right? So how does it all begin? Hypothalamus, this is the endocrine structure that's present in the brain, right? This is, secreting hormones. Hypothalamus is a structure which is a part of the brain beneath the thalamus, which is why it is referred to as hypothalamus. If you're done with the, endocrinology chapter from the first year, you repeaters and 12th children, you know that hypothalamus is something that is also secreting hormones, which in turn is controlling the or regulating the functioning of pituitary gland, right? So hypothalamus is something that is secreting gonadotropin releasing hormone, GnRH. Gonadotropin releasing hormone in turn is influencing the pituitary glands to secrete gonadotropins, right? Gonadotropin releasing hormone, in the name itself you have everything there. It is stimulating this particular gland to release gonadotropins, hence called gonadotropin releasing hormone, right? So that secreted by hypothalamus affects or influences the pituitary to secrete what are called as the gonadotropins. And what are these gonadotropins? They are FSH and LH, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, right? Follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, these are the two hormones that are secreted in turn by pituitary gland in response to GnRH. So, these are also something which are referred to as the gonadotropins. FSH is something that is influencing the Sertoli cells. In testis, there are the cells which are lining the seminiferous tubules. If you have watched the previous video where we talked about the male reproductive system, I did talk about Sertoli cells which are lining the seminiferous tubules, right. So, these Sertoli cells are acted upon by FSH so that they help with the process of spermiogenesis, which we are going to talk about shortly. LH on the other hand is influencing the Leydig cells. Where are Leydig cells? They are present in the interstitial space within the seminiferous tubules. Where are they present? They are present in the interstitial space, unlike these which are within the seminiferous tubules, within the lining of seminiferous tubules. On the outside, right, in the interstitial space is where you will find the Leydig cells. So, LH influences the Leydig cells and Leydig cells in turn secrete these very important androgens. What is the most important androgen that you are already aware of? Testosterone. Testosterone is the androgen that you are all quite aware of. So, these androgens are what are secreted by the Leydig cells, which in turn are helping with the process of the spermatogenesis. So, this is how it begins, children, where the spermatogenesis process is beginning at puberty in males. And is there an end? No, it is something that is taking place for lifetime in the males. Of course, the sperm quality is something that is degrading, whether in terms of shape or in terms of the motility as and when the men grow older and older, but the spermatogenesis process takes place usually in a healthy man till death. Right. So, there is no end to the spermatogenesis process, it begins at puberty. So, these are the 2 points I want you to pay attention to. Spermatogenesis begins at puberty and there is no end, it is continuing. And when does it actually begin? At the puberty. And which are the hormones that are involved? Hypothalamus first secretes GnRH, which in turn influences pituitary gland, which in turn secretes FSH and LH. FSH acts on Sertoli cells, LH acts on Leydig cells, and together they help in the process of the spermatogenesis, right. So, this is how it all happens. The first step is that the formation of diploid primary spermatocytes from spermatogonia, right. Primordial germ cells from embryonic yolk sac give rise to the spermatogonial stem cells. In the embryonic stage, from the yolk sac itself, these cells are forming, which are migrating to the testis. So, these cells are going to remain dormant. They are just going to be there in the testis till the point of puberty, because that is when they are going to be activated. They are rapidly undergoing divisions and there is the process of spermatogenesis that is beginning, right. So, the first step is spermacytogenesis, where spermatogonia are differentiating into primary spermatocytes. They are actively undergoing lot of mitotic divisions there. So, there is no change in the ploidy there. So, the primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis 1. Meiosis 1, you know, is a reductional division. It is a reductional division. So, what will happen to the primary spermatocyte which is undergoing division? It forms a haploid. Haploid, the ploidy is changing. Now, 46 becomes 23. Haploid, secondary spermatocyte. So, very important questions come from this particular point in your NEET examination. So, pay attention. Meiosis 1 is where the primary spermatocyte is something that is, differentiating into the secondary spermatocyte. You can also see a beautiful picture there of different steps. First there is spermatogonium, which in turn is differentiating into primary spermatocyte. You look at that large cell there. Then it becomes the secondary spermatocyte. So what is the resulting secondary spermatocyte? Meiosis II. Secondary spermatocyte undergoes second reduction division and form 4 spermatids. So these 4 spermatids, you can see these spermatid structures there, right? The spermatids are those which are again haploid. Let me tell you, meiosis II is as good as the mitosis again here. So there is no change in the ploidy. It is going to remain the 23 chromosomes which you have seen previously, right? Here primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis I to form secondary spermatocytes. Secondary in turn is undergoing meiosis II in order to form the spermatids, which are also haploid, right? Which are also going to remain 23. And then these spermatids are transformed into spermatozoa. This is a very important step called spermiogenesis. This question is asked successively twice in the NEET examination before. Either the differences form, or if you are taking in different forms, even more number of times. Spermiogenesis is a process where the spermatids, which are large and not motile, these structures are only differentiating, morphological differentiation. They become slender, motile structures called the spermatozoa. It's process called the spermiogenesis. Now once these spermatids are differentiating into the spermatozoa, we called it what? Spermiogenesis. These are still embedded in the Sertoli cells. They are drawing their nutrition from the Sertoli cells. Remember, the Sertoli cells are referred to as the nurse cells also, right? They are the ones which are helping with the nourishment of the sperm. So as you can see, they are embedded here and they are released. Once the release of the sperm from the seminiferous tubules take place, what are we referring to it as? It's called the spermiation. So lots of rhyming words here, pay attention, it's quite easy if you're trying to understand, right? Spermiogenesis is differentiation from spermatid to spermatozoa. Spermiation is their release from the head of the Sertoli cell, or the head of the spermatozoa releases from the Sertoli cell or from the seminiferous tubules. It is what is referred to as the spermiation process, right? Let me give you a quick recap of the whole thing from the NCERT picture before we get into the sperm structure. Look at this again, spermatogonia. What are they undergoing? Rapid mitotic differentiation. What do they form? Primary spermatocytes. They undergo the first meiotic division. That's where the ploidy is changing. Look at it here, it's 46, here it is 23. It forms secondary spermatocyte, which in turn undergoes the second meiotic division. No change in ploidy there. It's going to remain 23, which forms the spermatids. Look at these large spermatids, which are non-motile structures, becomes the very slender motile spermatozoa. Again, pay attention to the numbers also. One primary spermatocyte can give rise to 4 spermatozoa. One secondary spermatocyte can give rise to 2 spermatozoa. It's an equational division that's going on. Later we are going to discuss oogenesis, where it is not an equational division, right? So the spermatozoa are formed, and this whole process is what is referred to as the spermatogenesis. Now let's come to the sperm structure. Again, very, very important and very, very easy concept as well. Look at the sperm structure. It has the head, neck, middle piece and tail. So which are the 4 parts we are dealing with? 1 head, 2 neck, 3 middle piece, 4 tail. So these are the 4 labels that we are dealing with when it comes to the sperm structure. What does the head contain? Look at this particular structure here. It's a cap-like structure which is called the acrosome. Why is this particular structure very, very important? This cap-like acrosome consists of enzymes which help the sperm to penetrate into the ovum. Right? The ovum will have several layers around it. It will have what is called as a zona pellucida. It will have these granulosa cells around it, which is what is referred to as the corona radiata. So, it has to literally penetrate through all these layers to enter into the ovum. So, it requires a set of lysines, the enzymes which help with the breaking. Right? So, those are present in the acrosome, certain enzymes that help in the fertilization of ovum. What are these enzymes called? They are referred to as the sperm lysines. There is hyaluronidase, there is corona penetrating enzyme, the zona lysine, to name a few, right? These sperm lysines are helping with the sperm to be able to penetrate into the ovum, right? What has it also got? The head? It has nucleus. It is a very, very highly condensed chromosomes. How many? 23 chromosomes are present in them. And then there is this middle piece with the spirally wound mitochondria, right? The middle piece has lot of mitochondria, and which is why what is it referred to as powerhouse of the sperm, right? What is it referred to as? Powerhouse of the sperm, because of so many mitochondria that are present in here, which is helping with the movement of the sperm. It provides the energy for the movement of the sperm. Sorry, I missed the neck there. So, the neck has what are called as centrioles, right? One of the centriole is actually forming this axial filament. Another one is something that is helping during the fertilization process, formation of the spindle fibers, right? We're going to talk about more about it when we talk about the fertilization process, right? As of now, remember, the neck contains the centrioles. The middle piece, you know, will have lots of mitochondria which are providing energy from the motility of the sperm, which is why it is referred to as the powerhouse of the sperm. And the tail with its axial filament actually helping with the motility. You know, this is the only cell in the males which has this flagellum, right, which is actually helping with the movement for a long distance, in fact, right. So, that is where we finish our spermatogenesis topic for the day, and that little quiz that is followed by every single time. Label the powerhouse of the sperm. Just now we have seen, you can easily do that. Which is the one? This will be the middle piece, which will contain lot of what? Mitochondria, and that is why what is it called? The powerhouse of the sperm, right? Differentiate between spermiogenesis and spermiation. You are able to do that. You can answer a lot of MCQs. Again, let us recall, spermiogenesis is from the spermatid to spermatozoa, morphological differentiation. What is spermiation? It's a release from the seminiferous tubules is what is referred to as the spermiation. At the end of meiosis 2, the male germ cells differentiate into. Now, what is happening during the meiosis 1, the primary spermatocytes are some things which are forming the secondary spermatocytes, which in turn undergo meiosis 2 to form the secondary spermatocytes. You can actually go through that picture again one more time, right. See what is happening in the first meiotic division. Primary spermatocyte becomes secondary spermatocyte. Secondary undergoes second meiotic division. What does it form? It forms the spermatid, right. So, that will be our answer, where it forms the spermatid. The pituitary hormone that acts on Sertoli cell is, what acts on the Sertoli cell? Remember gonadotropins again. Which are the two gonadotropins? FSH and LH. You are answering. Wow, that's great. Raju, very nice to see an answer there, very nice. Sertoli cells are acted upon by, again there is an answer there also. I am so happy that you are actually following the class and coming up with the replies, right. The pituitary hormone that is acting on the Sertoli cells will be the FSH. LH is something that's going to act upon the Leydig cells, right. How many sperms are formed from the primary spermatocyte? So, a little of the spell check there, sorry about that. That will be the primary spermatocyte. Can we get an answer for that? Again, how many sperms are formed from a primary spermatocyte? Good that you people are watching and coming up with the answers. Great to see those answers. So, I am waiting for you to answer that question as well. How many sperms are formed from a primary spermatocyte? Okay. Okay, the medium is something that you are worried about. Can we have the answer first? How many sperms are formed from a primary spermatocyte? Primary spermatocyte 1, primary spermatocyte is something that will give rise to 4. Let me put it down here again. 4 of the spermatozoa, and again there will be a secondary spermatocyte. If at all the question is about one secondary spermatocyte, then the answer will be 2 spermatozoa, right. 2 spermatozoa banenge एक secondary spermatocyte से, and there will be 4 spermatozoa char when it is one primary spermatocyte. Based on this, the numbers can vary. They can go about asking 100 and 400 and all that, right. Good answers. If at all it is one primary spermatocyte, it is 4 spermatozoa. Secondary, it will be 2 spermatozoa, right. Good to see that you people are actually watching and trying to understand and answer those quizzes. Stay tuned to Infinity Learn, subscribe, and we are going to shortly start our repeaters course. So, let me tell you, our repeaters course for NEET will start very shortly. You can also use the coupon code Mythili 40 in order to be able to get your discount in the course, right. So, there is JEE course also that is starting on 25th, and this 29th we are going to start about our NEET repeaters course. So, quickly enroll into these courses, log into our website Infinity Learn in order for you to get more info, and there you have your code to get your discount. And in case you pay the initial amount of the registration fee of 999 and you do not want to continue, it's refundable, no questions asked, right. So, that is with confidence that we are launching it. In case you would want to continue, you can pay the further amount and continue the courses, or else it would be something that will be refundable without any questions asked. And you can use that coupon code for all the courses possible, right. Whether you want to get into the repeaters course, or we are going to shortly launch the other courses as well, and there are these I-Like papers that are available. So, on every possible thing there are these coupons or also discount coupons that are available. So, quickly enroll. Yeah, right. Yes, we are going to make these short videos of all the lessons. Right now we have started as far as zoology is concerned. Animal kingdom we are complete with till Porifera. At the same time 12th class human reproduction, this is our 3rd lecture. We are going to do that NEET aspirant, that's where how the name is given. So, I will go with that, right. 2023 batch also is going to start, Raju. Shortly we are going to announce the dates, right. So, keep learning, happy learning to you all, and see you all.